Hi, this is Fatima Ibrahim, hosting a brand new episode of Business Spotlight from Diwan. Today we are joined by the founder of Ordable, Salim Al-Marafi. Thank you, Salim. So before we get into a serious conversation, how about a rapid fire for our viewers, listeners to get to know you more?
Salim prefers texting or talking?
Ironically, talking, just not too much of it. I think it's a lot easier and faster to say something than type something.
Great. Favorite day of the week?
I think Tuesday, Taco Tuesdays.
Invisibility or superpower?
For sure, superpowers.
And what's yours?
Honestly, I've always been a fan of Spider-Man. I don't know if that's a superpower, but swinging between buildings just sounds cool.
We've heard from the team, like the handstand.
Yeah, actually, here in Bahrain, there's a very strong calisthenics community, and some of my heroes are in calisthenics Bahraini, so that's the closest thing, I guess, to swinging around like Spider-Man.
Cool. Technology, human connection, or a bit of both?
A bit of both. A bit of both.
Great. So Salim, tell us a little bit more about Ordable. What is it? When was it launched? And how has the journey been so far?
Yeah, so Ordable started as an idea in 2018. We had a friend, me and my co-founder, we had been working at a logistics company, and a common friend had a cookie business at home, and she had applied and gotten into the UN in their New York office. And she decided to shut down her cookie business, and we thought, well, that's a shame, don't do that. We'll try to make a way for you to run your business while you're in New York. Your kitchen can stay, she was in Kuwait, so your kitchen can stay in Kuwait, and we'll help you take orders through technology. She said, fine, I'm open to this idea. So we built a very simple website, a picture and a button, where customers could go in and place their orders, and her kitchen would receive the order and fulfill that order. After a week of launching that website, her orders went from $1,000 per month to selling $3,000 per month. By the end of 2018, she was selling $10,000 a month, all while in her apartment in New York, and her kitchen was running the orders. We thought, this is great, we can help other people like this. So we packaged up the solution and shipped it in 2019 and started helping other companies, be them home businesses in F&B or large companies outside of F&B, to take and process orders digitally. So this was kind of Ordable story. Today we're in every GCC country doing this.
That's amazing. That's amazing, really. And Salim, you've worked with tech giants like Amazon and Facebook and have developed a couple of non-profit tech platforms. Have you always been tech-driven? And how would you foresee the tech industry shaping up e-commerce?
I don't know if I've always been tech-driven. I've always enjoyed problems and solving problems. And inherently, problems start with people that have a purpose and they want to solve these problems, and they usually lack any sort of technology, and technology is usually just a tool to get to a solution. And I think for us, those people we call customers, right? So our merchants are our customers. They're very demanding, they have a lot of interesting challenges, and we enjoy building solutions. Most of the time these solutions have a tech edge to them, but sometimes actually they're not. Sometimes it's just a matter of organizing physical spaces in different ways and plugging in the right technology in the right place. How do I see technology shaping e-commerce? Well, I have a two-pronged answer for this. I think people really shape the way technology changes to allow them to buy better, in our space at least, allowing them to buy better. And this is a distinction between buying faster or buying more. It's just buying better. Because when you're shopping or when you're buying something online, you're doing it for fun, right? And so buying better means allowing you to have even more fun while you're in your shopping experience. However, often technology changes the way people interact with the world. So today we're seeing things in AI. We change the way we interacted with finding information. And so this will have a huge influence on the way we find products, or the way we get products recommended to us, or the way we consume them online, so the actual interfaces. Yesterday actually, Apple was talking about their new AR set. So
The Vision
augmented
Pro.
Vision Pro. And so we know that there will be a change to the interface between people and the world, and we must accommodate for that if the interfaces are better. Today we're stuck with our thumbs, right? So we interact with the world through our thumbs. There is a better way, it's just a matter of time.
Right. So what is the current landscape of market share of food aggregators in the Middle East versus online stores owning their own e-commerce platforms? Are your clients pivoting and embracing their own platforms powered by Ordable, or do they still prefer a mix of both?
Yeah. So I think often we get asked this question: is it an either-or situation? Absolutely not. It's an opportunity to do everything for merchants. And so let's talk about the food and beverage industry, because when you refer to aggregators, I think you're talking about the food and beverage aggregators. Those are necessary. They are the most powerful marketing tool a merchant has at their disposal to get more clients, new clients, right? And obviously there's a cost to that, which is what aggregators take as a commission. There's a lot of value behind that. The other side of this is, what about customers that are directly coming to you, right? You shouldn't have to pay a marketing commission for that. And so you need another way. We are that other way. Ordable is providing an additional channel to merchants to process orders from their customers. You can also use it to acquire new customers. So if you're doing your own advertising, the channel that that customer ends up in, so if I push an ad to Fatma and she sees it, the channel that you end up on should be the cheapest channel for me, right? The most cost-effective channel. It shouldn't be a channel where I'm paying commission twice, so my advertising cost plus commission. And so this is where we see the preference for direct ordering. And there's a percentage of share where aggregators don't play a role. For example, today we service bakeries that don't sell to people like Salam and Fatma. They actually sell to people like Kulars or other businesses. And so these are business-to-business orders. They don't have an aggregator option, right? But Ordable actually plays a large role in facilitating those purchases. So we have multiple channels. And I think recently there was a post by one of the restaurateurs in the region that I look up to, Basil Salim, and he really broke this down in a very elegant way. He said that aggregators played an important and pivotal role and continue to play an important and pivotal role in shaping the way the food and beverage industry grows. However, it comes at a cost, and he quoted 18%, can go up to 18% commission. And so restaurants are forced to do multiple different strategies to tackle their cost base. Some that come to top of mind was selection-based pricing, right? Or delivery-only based pricing, so different pricing strategies. And one of them was channel-based strategies, so taking orders directly on your direct channels. So even the forefront of entrepreneurs in the F&B industries are thinking this way. We're just serving them.
Right. So as competition intensifies and the level of tech and business model innovation rises in this space, the future looks very exciting. And I'm now intrigued to know, what could consumers and other stakeholders expect?
So we get excited when we see competitors. Why do we get excited as Ordable? Because it's propelling the pace of education in the market. So part of our job is actually teaching merchants the options that they have to sell, right? So part of it is a convincing effort of, you could be doing this. If we have more competition in the market, there are more people educating the market to bring on this new behavior. So we like competition. We actually work with some of our competitors in different markets to accelerate this part of it. On the other hand, when we're competing for a transaction or competing for a merchant, we focus internally. Like we like to know what competitors are doing, but we love focusing on what our customers need. So a lot of our product is very deep for the customers that are part of our ecosystem. And this is the feedback that we get every time somebody joins the Ordable ecosystem. It's like, wow, where were you guys last year? I needed these stuff ages ago. So we're very much focused on the product, but for our customers, not to acquire new ones, but to better service the ones that exist. And so, just to give you some numbers, the first 10 customers that were Ordable customers, 5 years down the line are still Ordable customers. And that's just an ode to how much we focus on our existing customer base, less so on just trying to get more customers.
Okay. And what is it for the stakeholders, other stakeholders? So this is the consumer part.
Yeah.
What about the stakeholders?
So we have two major stakeholders in our model, the payment partners. And so we're bringing value to them by increasing the number of transactions available to them. And delivery partners. Delivery is probably logistics is the hardest part of any transaction. It's so hard, and I take my hat off to anybody in that industry. But we help them reduce the cost per delivery by giving them more deliveries. And so delivery partners are kind of helping us grow this part because they get to pool orders in one area. So if you look around us in Adliya today, this is an attractive hub, and if we enable this hub to get more orders, so online orders, then delivery partners say, okay, great, now my cost base reduces. Thank you, Ordable, for allowing us to get more fleet to service more customers.
Right. And I think I have one of the questions which specifically talks about the logistic issues.
Sure.
You mentioned that it's one of your biggest challenges to work with the delivery aggregators. And how are you tackling it for Ordable?
It's just to qualify that. Working with delivery aggregators, delivery partners is super easy. They're really actually technology forward and very cooperative. In Bahrain, for example, we work closely with companies like Parcel or Kangaroo, delivery runners, and they already have customers. We already have shared customers, and it's just integrating systems together to make that merchant's experience easier. Logistics is hard because of the nature of the infrastructure in the Middle East. This is true in every GCC country we've been in. It's just hard getting an order from point A to point B fast, efficiently, and accurately. So fast, it's because of the road infrastructure. Efficiently, it's because there's a huge cost per delivery on those logistics providers that no one's willing to pay. So they tend to absorb these costs, right? And then accurately, this is kind of addressing systems in the Gulf are very difficult. You have one system in Bahrain, you have one system in Saudi, you have one system in Kuwait, and GPS point systems are not great either. So using a Google point is not necessarily the best in the GCC, versus Western markets are much more mature in this space. So this is a challenge in the logistics space for direct orders that are delivery. But that's not all we do. We also have pickup, and we have QR ordering, table dining, and we have B2B ordering, and we have point of sale, and each present with different challenges depending on the merchant. Yeah, does that answer the question?
It does. And that brings me to my next question. So you chose Bahrain as your regional headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
What attracted you to the island? Would you mind sharing your growth strategy?
Yeah, so I'll answer this question also in two parts. Our growth strategy is driven by customers. So our customers grew out of Kuwait and we followed them. They said, can you come with us to Saudi? Yes, you can come with Saudi and service you there. And then once we were there, we started to increase our install base in each country. And this continues to be our strategy for growth. Follow our customers, fulfill more of their demand. What's attracted us to Bahrain is, other than amazing people, amazing country, if you go back to kind of traditional times, Bahrain was the leading financial hub, and therefore they have the best legal, in my opinion, they have the best legal infrastructure for entrepreneurs to set up. Actually, a lot of other countries copied and implemented what already exists in Bahrain. And so if in the future we want to be attractive to investment, Bahrain already has the infrastructure for that. If we want to incentivize employees using different incentive tools through equity, there's already an infrastructure for that. So this was one of the core reasons for me as a founder to establish in Bahrain. Also, the market is attractive. In F&B you have 5,000 active restaurants in Bahrain that are starting to launch online. So it makes sense.
Right. And what's your growth strategy?
So out of Bahrain, we're already serving quite a few GCC countries. Sharqiyya and Saudi is served out of Bahrain. So our team over here in Diwan is not only on calls with Bahrain customers, but customers in Sharqiyya and also in Oman. And we're starting to increase our install base in Qatar. We have partners in Qatar, but we're also serving them out of Bahrain. So really it's a hub for us, right? So Bahrain is where the starting point for every market is how I like to think about it.
Absolutely, yeah. So what's your favorite productivity hack for entrepreneurs apart from being members of Diwan? I might as well ask, how do you feel about the space and operating from here?
Honestly, it's just surrounding yourself by people that are better than you in whatever you're not good at. And so being as part of a community like Diwan, you're surrounded by people from other companies that are, maybe years ahead of where you are. I think you have Kitopi here, and Kitopi is something that we aspire to be as big as. So this is great to be part of that. That's a good productivity hack because people will teach you how to do things in better ways, right? So you're stuck in your ways, you go look for somebody who's doing it better and you copy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for advocating for Diwan. All right, so the last question. What's one question you wish I'd asked and how would you have answered?
Yeah, I wish you asked me how does a merchant become an Ordable customer? Get on our website, click on start your store, and you can start within 48 hours.
Oh wow, it takes, right?
Yeah.
Amazing. So with this, we'd like to conclude our first episode. Thank you, Salim, for joining us. And we wish you and the entire team of Ordable continued success.
Thank you.
We'll be back with yet another startup business story. Until then, stay tuned and stay connected.